Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to discuss the complete syllabus of your paper 4, Western Literary Theories and Criticism. So this paper is particularly about the major conditions of Western literary criticism, from ancient Greek criticism to Victorian and modern criticism. So let's understand the syllabus unit by unit in a very simple and systematic manner. So the course is Western Literary Theories and its code is 710710424. 0 is misprinted here. So this is a theory paper carrying 4 credits. The examination pattern is 25 marks plus 75 marks and the minimum passing marks are 40. The main objective of this paper is to familiarize students with important literary theories and critical conditions that developed from ancient Greece through the Renaissance, Neoclassical, Romantic, Victorian and modern periods. So the course will help students understand how different critics have looked at literature, poetry, drama, imagination, creativity, tradition and the function of criticism. Now let's look at all 5 units. The first unit deals with ancient Greek criticism, which forms the foundation of Western literary criticism. So there are 2 important critics prescribed in this unit: Aristotle's The Poetics and Longinus on the Sublime. Aristotle Poetics में first we will study Aristotle, and one of the most important thinkers in history of literary criticism. His work Poetics is considered one of the earliest and most influential works of literary theory. While studying Aristotle, a student will come across important concepts such as mimesis, tragedy, plot, character, catharsis, hamartia, and the elements of tragedy. We will understand how Aristotle defines tragedy and why he considers plot to be one of the most important elements. So we will also understand the concept of catharsis, which is central to Aristotle's theory of tragedy. Now next is Longinus on the Sublime. His famous work on the Sublime focus on the idea of sublimity in literature. The Sublime refers to that quality in great literature which produces a feeling of elevation, grandeur, and powerful impact in the reader. Therefore, Unit 1 gives us foundation of Western literary criticism through the ideas of Aristotle and Longinus. Second unit moves from ancient Greece to Renaissance period. The period prescribed critic here is Sir Philip Sidney and his work An Apology for Poetry. It is also known as the defense of poesy. It is an important defense of poetry against the objections raised against it. In this unit, we will understand Sidney's views about nature, purpose, and value of poetry. We will also examine his argument that poetry can teach as well as delight. Sidney explains why poetry is valuable to society and why poets should not be considered inferior to other intellectuals. So Unit 2 introduces us to Renaissance ideas about poetry and establishes the Importance of poet and poetic imagination. The third unit deals with new classical criticism. The prescribed critic is Dr. Samuel Johnson and his preface to Shakespeare. This preface to Shakespeare is an important critical assessment of Shakespeare's dramatic art. And in this unit, we will study Johnson's views on Shakespeare, drama, character, nature, universality, and the purpose of literature. One of the most important aspects of Johnson's criticism is his appreciation of Shakespeare's ability to represent human nature. And we will also understand Johnson's views about dramatic unities and his response to Shakespeare's treatment of tragedy and comedy. Now we come to one of the most important sections of the syllabus, romantic criticism. This unit includes two major romantic critics, William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge. The prescribed text is Preface to Lyrical, Ballads, 1802. In this, Wordsworth brought a major change in understanding of poetry. He challenged many of the conventional ideas of 18th century poetry and emphasized the importance of ordinary life, ordinary people, and natural language. And in this, we will study Wordsworth's famous idea about poetry, emotion, imagination, nature, and the language of common people, and his definition of poetry as the expression of powerful feelings recollected in tranquility is particularly important for students. Now, the second romantic critic is S.T. Coleridge. The prescribed text is Biographia Literaria, particularly chapter 4, chapter 13 and 14. We will study the Coleridge's distinction between primary imagination and secondary imagination, along with his views on poetic creation. Now the final unit brings us Victorian and modern criticism. There are two important critics in this unit, Matthew Arnold and T.S. Eliot. The prescribed essay of Matthew Arnold is the function of criticism at present time. We will study his views on the function and importance of criticism, the role of the critic, and the importance of ideas in literary and cultural life. The second critic is T.S. Eliot, and his prescribed essay is Tradition and Individual Talent. This essay introduces several concepts, especially tradition, historical sense, impersonality, and the relationship between the poet and the poetic process. We will also study his concept of impersonality of poetry and his famous distinction between the poet's personal emotions and the emotions expressed in the poetry. So this is a complete overview of the syllabus of paper 4, Western Literary Theories and Criticism. I hope this syllabus explanation has given you a clear understanding of all the 5 units and important critics and texts prescribed in each unit. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, share it with your classmates, and subscribe to the channel for detailed explanation of each unit, important questions, short notes, and exam oriented study material. Thank you for watching. All the best for your studies.